Okay, just a heads up, we are recording. So just so you all know.
Starting now or before when Spurgeon was talking?
Starting.
I will put it up on the YouTube channel as well.
I'll mute myself for you.
Good idea.
Spurgeon
Fortunately,
inspection release is signed on your desk.
What'd you say?
I told Spurgeon the inspection release is signed and on his desk.
All right, I'll let you know when it's finished.
Good. I don't know, but it's driving my dog crazy.
That's Spurgeon's heartbeat.
It's okay. It's okay.
It stopped.
Didn't stop on my end.
Still going. What is it? Okay. You want to get started?
Oh.
What's that? All right. Well, welcome everyone. The first thing I just want to say is thank you. It's been a difficult year to say the least, and but many of you were able to rise above and not let this pandemic prevent you from having a tremendous year. And because of your efforts, Haynes Real Estate had a record year this year. And from the bottom of our hearts, we respectfully appreciate you, the agents of Coldwell Banker. We are the best real estate company in Monroe County because of you. And one of the things that we've talked about in the past, our mission statement when you walk in our Monroe office. And just to kind of restate the mission statement, which says, rooted in a longstanding history of honesty, integrity, professionalism, and caring, Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate is committed to providing unparalleled customer service to our clients, our agents, our staff, and our community. And then you take a look at our core values that we have up on the wall: growth, innovation, education, communication, community, and fun. We represent these values very well. Obviously, we didn't have as much fun this year because of what was this past year, because of what's been going on. But we have some events that we plan on having this year coming in 21, once everybody gets their shots, right, and things kind of settle down. So, but it's important that everybody has our mission statement, our core values in your listening presentation. This is who we are. And I think it's important that we understand that. And it's because of you, our agents, who exemplify all these different core values that we have. What we're going to do now is we're going to watch a video real quick. So Paula, if you want to play this video. And I want to remind everybody to please mute yourself.
Oh, the video is Linda. So here.
Linda.
Yep. Stand by. Hang on a minute. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
We spent a lot of time at home. And as the purpose of home changed, so did we. With fresh new looks for our brand and our leaders in luxury. To show them off, 85% of you downloaded new logos with the help of platforms like BrandServe and created more than 200,000 awesome marketing assets. Meanwhile, our unified product suite helped your businesses grow. Agents who used our technology were twice as productive and earned higher commissions than those who didn't. Brand awareness is stronger than ever, with increased visibility, outstanding leadership, and double the broadcast presence, including the #1 ad in real estate for the 9th year in a row. Our network is proud to be part of such awesomeness. No one beats us on agent satisfaction. And our first ever Virtual Gen Blue was the most attended event in Coldwell Banker history. Virtual events throughout the year brought the Coldwell Banker brand to more people than ever before. That's a lot of positive change, but we're not done. In 2021, the rebrand will expand with the North Star shining on the luxury market. We aim to raise $250,000 to help families in need by supporting the mission of St. Jude. And our top-rated ad will return during the biggest event in March, the NCAA tournament. 2020 was a year of change, but change can be good. And looking back on all we did and ahead at all we'll do, we're proud of all we achieved together.
All right, thanks, Linda.
Yep.
So, share a lot of information today, and please do not feel overwhelmed. Linda is going to be recording this. You can go back to look at it, and obviously you have, Al, myself, Linda, Mick, and Paula to help you with any questions. But you're going to see a lot of things on my desk, my CB Desk platform. And if you have not logged into your CB Desk, there's a phone number you can call to log in to get in. And the phone number, if everybody can write this down, if you don't have a code or if you don't know how to get into my CB Desk, the first thing is to get the code to get in, is 1-877-426-5393. Again, it's 877-426-5393. And the help center will help you get into my CB Desk, which there is so much information in there, and it's a valuable tool. So hopefully.
Jack, I put the phone number in the chat as well. So if you miss that, just open up your chat box and the number is in there.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to move on here. Al is going to start out, and he's going to give us talk about our 2020 accomplishments and a market update. So go ahead, Al, take over.
Okay, so, when I sit down and go over the market update and what I think is going to be happening in the next year, it's pretty easy to kind of figure it out. But this was probably the most difficult market update I've had to do. Going back to 1980, when interest rates were 17%, I've seen a lot. Okay, and that was a really tough year for real estate, maybe the toughest ever. And then we hit that recession in 2008, 2011, or 2012, where 60% of all of our closings were either short sale or foreclosure sales. And so I thought when we got through that, boy, there's nothing else we really can face, maybe another recession, right? Well, of course, I was wrong. So finally, what happens to us last March early last year was this COVID-19 pandemic. And I remember being on the phone with Katie Burrows around March 1st, and she asked me, she said, how do you think this is going to affect us? And I says, I just rewrote our business plan, and I dropped our closings for the year by 30%. And she commented back, she said, I think it could be more. Well, were we ever wrong? Okay. Who would have thought being shut down 2 months, okay, and dealing with COVID throughout the year, that we would end up 10% higher than we were the year before in volume of sales, and also higher in units closed. So, so then I looked, so what's supposed to happen this year? And it's really hard to figure out. I really don't know what kind of market we are in right now today. I'm not sure we're still in the same market as of last year, where we're going to get multiple offers, or have we, are we getting back to a normal market? I'm going to show some slides in the next minute or two that it's going to talk about that a little bit. And we'll just have to see what goes on what happens as the year goes on. The one thing that did happen across the nation was there was a very low supply of inventory. And whenever that happens, you're going to see prices go up. And also what helped prices going up last year and what was, as everybody knows, is the low interest rates, okay, of historic low interest rates. So, but aside from that, you know, I look at the top agents in our area and really not a lot of change there, okay? Not just talking about our company, I'm talking about overall. And I've always preached in the back, are those agents just lucky? Is that why they're top agents? Okay. And the answer is no, they're not lucky. Okay. Of course, the harder you work, the luckier that you get. So, you know, I think the first thing you have to do, and it's very difficult to do, is wake up every day with a good attitude. And I think that's the first key to a success, okay, is to have a good attitude. And, you know, get yourself up, get going, you know, get into your routine as far as business goes. And, but in order, before you do that, you have to have a plan. And that's what we're kind of about today, is talking about business planning, okay? So these are the 6 keys to being a top agent. Or if you don't want to be a top agent, if you just want to make X amount of money, you still have to have these 6 words for success, okay? In your plan, you have to have a prospecting section. How are you going to prospect? And what kind of systems do you have in place for prospecting? It doesn't do a whole lot of good for an agent to send out 500 postcards to a neighborhood thinking that they're going to get some phone calls back and say, hey, I got your card, come list my house. Can that happen? It can happen, but it's a one-time thing, and you're better off putting systems in place. So like when Mick and Linda are talking later, they're going to be talking about, you know, some systems that you can put in place. So prospecting is very important, but once you get a prospect in place, you know, how are you going to present to them? You have to have a listing presentation, okay? And because your competition, that is good competition, is going to have a listing presentation. And if you don't have one, yes, maybe your best friend might list with you, or somebody who was highly referred to you without a listing presentation. But to be a top agent, you have to have a listing presentation. It's got to be a good one. Lastly, you know, if you don't have passion for what you're doing, it's difficult for any of the other 4 things I just talked about to really come into place. So, you know, that's something that we can't make you have. You either have it or you don't. And, but, you know, passion is very, very important. But lastly, this is the key word to the whole thing. You can have a great attitude. You can have a plan. You can prospect. You can have a good presentation, and you can have passion. But if you're not accountable to your daily activities, then you're always going to be wondering where your next prospect's going to be coming from. Okay. And the agents that are the top agents, I guarantee you, are accountable to themselves. And so if you want to be a top agent, you know, it's really not up to our company or Jack or myself. It's up to you. We're there to help you with that. So that's, I've harped on these things for a long time. I've really talked about the 4 P's in the past, but, you know, I think the attitude and the accountability are maybe the biggest part of the whole thing. Okay. Going to the next slide, talking about our production from last year, you can see that in 2019, we had 653 units sides closed in Michigan. And in 2020, we had 679. When I redid our business plan, I think I had dropped it to 500 last March 1st. So again, I had no idea what was in front of us. And the average sale price went up. So you can see that our volume went up to 134, 436. Actually, you know, some things are trickling into our stats still from last year that weren't entered. We're at 681 closed units, and we're at 134, 7 and some change. So, but pretty close. Next slide. So what happened to our average sale price last year, not only across the nation, but here in Monroe County? I'm going to show you a slide in just a minute that shows the average sale price across the United States went up 7.8%. That is a huge increase in 1 year, okay? The average sale price at a really good year usually goes up about 3%. So this was a lot higher than normal, even in a great year. Our average sale price in Monroe County went up 8%. So the average sale, this is residential listings only, single family residential listings, not condos. Average sale price, 205,356. You could use these slides in your listing presentation because people, when you make a listing presentation, people they're listening to you. And the more knowledge that you have, the better chance that you're going to have to get that listing. Okay, go to the next slide. So here's a stunning information. I knew this number was high. I even called Lisa at the board office to make sure that this was not incorrect. And so look at this, 29% of all listings in Monroe County were listed by non-CBAR members last year. Okay, so that means that the actual numbers were pretty close to 2,000 residential listings last year in Monroe County. Only 1,400 of them approximately were listed by CBAR members. I saw real estate companies come out of the woodwork I never knew existed. And I do admit that we also sold properties outside of our area just the same. Northern Michigan, different areas, we usually wouldn't take the listing, we did. And those listings usually sold us within a few days. So, but this is just another reason that it's so important to work your sphere of influence, because not only is your sphere of influence being grabbed by Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, Homes.com, and several other sites, now we're losing our sphere of influence because of MLS being in one big pond, MI Real Source, okay? We're losing our sphere of influence to outside competition, who's not even, we don't even know who they are, okay? So you have to work your sphere of influence harder now than ever before, okay? The next slide really is just some information I picked up through Coldwell Banker this year at our end of the year meeting. It talked about a quick market update, prices, recovery, momentum, forbearance, which is foreclosures, and then what's next, okay? So the next slide says such a frenzy of activity reminiscent to 2006 raises questions about a bubble. So people have asked me, including people that I know really well who are thinking about making a move, are we going to see a bubble? Should I sell now, or do you think I can wait a year? You know, so what this says here is this: the answer, there is no comparison to 2006. Here's why. Back in 2006, there was a large amount of adjustable rate mortgages, okay, which taxed many buyers' budgets. So what happened back then was, for example, right now, if interest rates were 2.5 and you sign an adjustable rate mortgage and you run a 1 year adjustable rate mortgage, and all of a sudden next year interest rates are 5%, your payment could go up several $100s. And then all of a sudden it affects the market, prices start coming down, and that is what created the recession in real estate. Okay, so now there was also a lot of interest-only loans back in 2006. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about those. So now in our market today, today's buyers are taking out 30-year fixed rate mortgages. 14 years ago, there were 3.8 million homes listed for sale, and home builders are putting up about 2 million new units. Now inventory is 1.5 million homes on the market, and home builders are underproducing relative to historic averages. So that's why we're not going to be, that's the main reason we're not going to see a bubble. So if anybody talks, oh, we're going to have another bubble, it's there's no guarantees, but very, very unlikely to happen. Okay, I'll go to the next slide, Paula. And again, all these slides here, you might take one or two of them or some of them with you at listing presentations, because some people will ask you these questions and you'll have the information right there in front of you. House prices recorded their strongest quarterly gain in the history purchase only series in the third quarter relative to a year ago. So that's in a 12-month period. So the average sale price went up 7.8%, which is the fastest year-over-year rate of appreciation since 2006. Next slide, Paula. Now I want to talk about employment. Of course, this varies from state to state and county to county, but this is the information that I have on a national level. Next slide. You can see here back in May that the unemployment had reached a high of 24.9, which is a crazy number. But you can also see as the year went on that number decreased. As of December 1st, national average was down to 6.1%. Again, I think this is a good information to have, even if you were in a listing presentation. Okay, next page, please. And then that just shows kind of a similar slide from September until now, till 11/21. Okay, next page. So has the housing fully recovered in COVID, during the COVID time? So let's look at that. There's some crazy numbers out there, which they make a lot of sense. Okay, first of all, there were 64.1% more showings last year than the previous year. Okay. There were 26% more mortgage applications taken last year than the previous year. There were 20.5% more pending sales than there were the year before. Okay. 26.6% more existing home sales, and now this one throws me a little bit. It says 32.1% new home sales. I'm not sure about that number, what that really represents, but because down here, if you look at the new home sales inventory, it's down 13.7%. But the key numbers here are the pendings, okay, and the existing homes inventory down 39% from the previous year. That's a huge number of less inventory, but more showings. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense in a way. It just shows how crazy our market was during this last year. Next slide. So this basically just talks about change in pending sales. It's still strong, but moderating. So what I'm saying by this is, I think we're getting into a more normal market. Okay. Maybe not total normal, but I think it's more, of course, whenever the winter months hit, it does slow down some, but you can see even back in mid-September to mid-October, which are strong months in real estate, you can see on a national average that these numbers are coming down. So most likely the December and January numbers probably could continue down, and so it is moderating. Okay. And then urban suburban. Okay, the reason we want to show you this slide, go to the next one, please, is that 91% of brokers reported that more demand for land purchase in distant suburban locations nationally in our third quarter of 2020. And I think that's the same here in Monroe County. And these are percentage of real estate brokers seeing a buyer shift from urban to suburban areas. So people who want houses more out in the country instead of in the city. So, if you're looking at a house in the city, unless it's a really nice house, homes in the city of Monroe probably aren't selling as quickly as properties that are maybe in Raisonville Township or, in rural, more urban, suburban type areas. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about forbearance, which is really people that are behind in their mortgage payments, not foreclosed on, but behind in their mortgage payments. It says households appear reasonably well positioned to weather any cushion for a slowdown. But if a strict, broad-based lockdown were to be instituted, then the economy could turn down again. Meanwhile, the housing market continues to thrive to the low rate environment, which is your interest rates. Okay. But the sector is showing some early signs of slowing on the purchase side as the delayed seasonal effects works its way through the market. Next page. So you can see in May, there were 8.4% of all households were behind on their mortgage payments. Right now, we're down to 5.48 nationally. So that's a good sign. Okay, next page. Any foreclosure increase will be likely be quickly absorbed by the market. It will not lead to any price declines. So for example, if we do see some foreclosures, they don't expect them to influence sale prices of other existing homes. Okay, so that's my presentation, and turn it over to Linda.
All right. So Linda's going to talk about our training overview for 2021 and also touch on a valuable tool, which is called Goal Projector. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, good morning, everybody. There's a couple of things that I wanted to communicate to all of you about our training program. When we were first initially shut down, I actually went back to school to learn a little bit more about training and how to organize our training programs so that we can see our new agents, whether they're experienced or inexperienced, realize their business goals in a much quicker, more efficient way. So we have kind of revisioned our training, and we are hoping that all of you are going to be able to communicate this message on behalf of CB Haynes as well. In fact, we're going to be putting some marketing materials together for all of you so that when and if you know someone or speak to someone who's interested in coming on board, you can speak to them at least somewhat comprehensively about our new training program. So the new training program is definitely customized based on the experience level of every agent coming on board. And as a result, you'll see that we have similar formats, but they're going to be available to agents based largely on their level of experience. Next slide, Paula. So we're going to start with our new experience or inexperienced agents. So we have come up with a curriculum that is based largely in terms of our objective to productively and efficiently train, to champion and coach all of our new agents coming on board into a successful career in real estate. It's going to include 4 modules. It includes a blended learning method. So they're going to be doing some things, hopefully by the spring in person, but a lot of them are going to be obviously via Zoom, virtual, self-paced, and a lot of hands-on activity, including working with me directly. We're going to fully immerse them into the utilization of mycbdesk.com. You guys are going to be hearing that a ton now today and in the upcoming year, because MyCBDesk and the changes that they have made are exceptional. And the tools in there are specifically designed to get all of our agents up and running with their businesses. It's also going to include weekly one-to-one coaching sessions with me. They will be meeting with Al on a one-to-one basis to put together their business plan. And it's also going to include, what Al talked about in the beginning with the 5 Ps, some accountability, because without accountability, we're just not going to be able to see the success that we're looking for. Okay, next slide. Perfect. So our level 2 of the new training program is customized for new experienced agents. We have a couple of those coming on board this year. And our objective for this training is swift and proficient exposure and climatization, again, to MyCBDesk and the tools that are available to our agents to help them build their businesses. So similarly, there's going to be 4 modules, but we're going to customize those modules based on what's needed by the agent. There's going to be 2 focus points. We want to get them acclimated to the local and corporate company value proposition, which if any of you have done business planning training, either online or with me, we talk a lot about value proposition, what your value is, what the value of the local CB Haynes is, and what the value of the brand is. And then we're also going to be focusing on goal setting and business planning, which is largely what we're doing here today. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about that goal setting tool, which is fantastic. Again, we're going to fully immerse the agent coming on board into the utilization of our tools. We are going to provide weekly one-to-one coaching as needed by the experienced agents. And they will also be meeting with Al again to put their business plan together. So the formats are similar, but they are going to be customized based on the needs of the agent. Okay, and we are introducing this year, and I'm sure that some of you have seen a lot of this new program that we've put together on our Facebook page and also through emails. But this is going to be our 4 core trainings. So what we have decided to do, instead of reinventing the wheel, which we've done in the past, we are going to utilize the core trainings that are available to all of you on mycbdesk.com. And so for each quarter, we have chosen one of the core trainings that Coldwell Banker Corporate offers. And we're going to be emphasizing those trainings as we go through the year. So as you can see in quarter 1, we've got a training program called Outlist Outlast. This is a really comprehensive training program, and it's about helping you as agents succeed with sellers by putting your listings first in your business plans. And so this one is going to be running through the first quarter of the year. This one is more of an intense program. It goes for 4 weeks, and they're 90-minute sessions twice a week. And the next one is starting up February 16th. I'm actually signed up myself for the January session, because people that actually complete this training do see almost a 25% increase in the number of listings that they have. So we're really excited about that. If you want to talk to me about pre-registration, or if you just want to jump on mycbdesk.com, that's going to be available to you. In the second quarter, we're going to be talking about virtual lead generation through your sphere of influence. This is a really fast-paced online workshop, and it's designed to help you increase your business through your sphere of influence. We're going to discover best practices of top performers, including how to provide value and build top-of-mind status with each of your contacts in your sphere of influence. And then we're going to actually combine that with the Goal Projector Calculator, and you're going to have a really good idea of how many people you need to contact during the year so that you can increase your sales through your sphere of influence. And then in our third quarter, we're going to be focused on Real Coaching. So Real Coaching is actually a coaching program put together in conjunction with the top trainers, as well as input from top agents, where on a weekly basis, either Mick down in the Toledo office or me here in the Monroe office will be meeting with agents who are interested with sort of an agenda of what we're going to do on a weekly basis to get your business moving forward. So it's coaching with an agenda to help you build your business. And we're really excited about that. We are going to request during quarter 3 that everyone sign up in advance, because we will have limited spots available for that. And then last but not least, as you guys saw in the last quarter, we are going to be focused 100% on business planning. So we're going to start business planning in September, October, so that you're all completed by December and ready to roll in January. The business planning sessions are designed to help you set realistic business goals and plan your activities specifically around achieving those goals. And in that session, you're going to customize your business plan based on your income goals and the level of transactions you're going to need to achieve in order to reach those income goals. And those programs are going to be offered virtually or live online. And again, hopefully we'll be able to do some things in person again at some point, but of course, none of us know when that's going to be. So those are our 4 core trainings. And then in order to support those, Paula, next slide. That's weird. It's not coming up entirely, is it? Not sure why, but okay. So the objective of the last portion of our training is to provide all of our agents opportunities on a monthly basis for group coaching, for instruction, for mastermind sessions, all designed to enhance and support the current quarterly training. Okay, so in the first quarter, we talked about Outlist Outlast and building your listings. So we've actually narrowed this down into 3 Tuesdays, tune in Tuesdays. So your first Tuesday of every month is going to be a mastermind session, and it's going to be focused in the first quarter around Outlist Outlast, which is building listings. So we're going to have everyone who wants to be on the call is welcome to bring their ideas, to bring their challenges, whatever obstacles that they're coming up against, and the group together will explore options and ways to succeed. Mastermind groups are excellent because we really learn from each other. So that's going to be the first Tuesday of every month in the morning. The second Tuesday is going to be a group coaching opportunity. So if you are looking for coaching, or you're looking for some accountability, and you don't want to do that on a one-to-one basis, you can pop into the group coaching meeting, and we'll be asking you questions and helping you solve some problems through a group coaching session. And then the third Tuesday of every month, of course, is going to be our office meeting. And we'll be sharing some tools during the office meeting also around whatever the quarterly training theme is. So when you see Tune In Tuesdays on our Facebook page, you know it's the first 3 Tuesdays of every month. And we're going to be offering some item of value to all of you, whether it's a mastermind, group coaching, or an office meeting. And hopefully that helps all of you to keep it in your minds that it's always Tuesdays and it's always some item of value that we're going to be bringing to the table. So that's kind of an overview of our new training program. And we hope all of you will participate as the year goes on. I've already spoken to a couple of agents about doing some brainstorming around sphere of influence and how to put an annual sphere of influence touch point campaign together. Okay, Jack, I know you're going to start business planning. I guess before we run into the full-on business planning that Jack is going to be talking about, I also want to talk to all of you a little bit about our goal projector tool. So you will find this tool on mycbdesk.com. Again, you're hearing mycbdesk.com. We're kind of hitting you over the head with a hammer with this new tool that they have rolled out this year. And they have excellent training tools. They have excellent goal projecting tools, accountability tools, you name it, they have it. And this is one of them. And this is an essential tool for all of you to be able to use in order to project some of your income goals for the upcoming year. And so in order to access it, you're going to sign in to mycbdesk.com and you're going to go to the Learning Center. And there will be a whole bunch of tiles along the top of your page. You will see the goal projector right in front of you as you log in. And it is a simple tool to help you determine your income and your expenses and to reach the goals and the lifestyle that you're looking to create. So when you customize with this tool, it's going to help you identify your annual income, help you pay your bills, save for your future, and fund whatever goals that you have coming up for the year. And it's also going to help you build a realistic prospecting plan and focus on activities that are going to get you the results that you're looking for. So you'll see on the top there, it asks for your estimated bills this year. That's your personal bills. It's going to ask you for how much money do you want to save this year? It's going to ask you for your real estate expenses. So before you dive into this tool, or you can dive into it, have a look at it, and then go and prepare these numbers. But if you want to do it in advance, you're going to collect your personal bills. You're going to get an idea in your head of what your savings is going to look like this year. Then you're going to calculate your real estate expenses. And I'm sure most of you are doing that this time of the year anyway, because tax season is coming up. So you should have a pretty good idea of what your expenses are. Then it gives you 3 lines to populate in terms of what other financial goals you have. So it may be you know, paying for your kids' tuition, taking a vacation out to Alaska, you know, whatever those may be, you're going to put those dollar amounts in those lines. And then it's going to total it up for you. It's going to do a lot of the math for you. And I'm going to make the long story short because I know I don't have time to go into all of the training right now. But basically what it's going to do is it's actually going to drill down to exactly how many minutes you need to schedule on your calendar every work day based on how many weeks you want to work and what your income goals are in order to meet your prospecting goals so that you can reach and achieve your financial goal. It's actually going to give you what we call your double play. So how many contacts do you need to make every week and how many appointments do you need to make every week in order to meet your income goal? I know a lot of our top achieving agents in the office have used this tool so that they can calculate on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis where they're at in terms of reaching their goal at the end of the year. And I think it has really provided them with a great opportunity to gain some perspective as to whether or not they're on track. And if they're not, they can really start to focus in on their prospecting methods and what systems are or are not working for them so that they can reach the goals that they're looking to achieve. And so what we'd really like everyone to do, and if you need help, I'm here to help, dive into this goal projector, put your numbers in there. It's going to calculate everything for you. And then you can use this as a guideline in order for you to start building out your prospecting methods to meet your goals. And that leads me right into Jack's presentation for business planning, because it's going to help you create your business plan for the upcoming year.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
Yeah.
So any of those numbers that were in the goal projector, you know, commission breakdowns and that, if you need help with that, obviously, you know, contact Al or myself or Linda, and we can help you get those numbers so you can fill those in.
Yeah, and real quick, Jack, now that you say that, there are two numbers in there that you are going to need from me. There are two numbers that are not going to auto-populate and you're not going to know the answer to. They're averages based on the market. So for sure, those numbers you can definitely get from me if you're looking to fill in the goal projector.
Okay. All right, thanks. So we're gonna talk about some key components that you'll need for the business plan, and keep in mind that I'm sharing information to get you thinking about how to formulate the plan. And you know, one of the things that Al, being a old basketball coach and I'm an old football coach, you know, a lot of times we talk about, you know, we go to all these coaching clinics and listen to speakers, and you know, you try to pick up 1, 2, or 3 things that you can bring back to the table that's going to really kind of set you apart from other coaches. And that's what we hope, that you get something out of this meeting today, that something's going to click and help you build your business. So you can't do everything, but you can do a few things very well. And that's one thing we want to concentrate on. So just keep in mind too, that the goal projector that Linda just talked about will work hand in hand with the plan, with the business plan, as we move on. So Paul, let's, okay, first slide here. 1 second. So it talks about building your business, building your life. You know, you got into real estate because you saw an opportunity, and you are here today to learn more about how to grow your real estate career into a business that thrives. And, you know, we got to think ourselves as entrepreneurs. You know, we work in the real estate business, and it affords us a pretty good balanced life. And it's important for you to think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Let's go to the next slide. So the difference maker, you know, one of the most important things an agent can do is to grow their business is to have a plan. And that's what we're talking about, obviously, today is the business plan. And, you know, it goes deeper than goals. We have to, you know, break down specific activities that you could do on a daily basis to ensure some longevity in his business. And, you know, like I said before, you can do a few things right every day rather than doing many things not very well, if that makes sense. So, for example, you know, if you decide to work on expires or FSBOs, and that's what you concentrate on, that's what you do, and you get really good at it. Like Al talked about attitude earlier in his, earlier today, you know, we always talk about having a great attitude in this business. And it says 3 attitudes of a real estate business leader, and it has attitude, attitude, attitude. You know, and speaking on attitude, one thing is, you know, sometimes, you know, you'll be at a store or whatever, and somebody asks you, hey, how's the real estate business? And if you say, oh, well, you know, it's okay. What you should say, it is awesome. It is great. Real estate is, I'm really busy, and it just gives you a real good vibes on that. So, you know, you got to have a great attitude in this business, even though we have a lot of setbacks here and there and things that happen in our business. Let's go to the next slide. So this is just a self-assessment that you can do on your own. That isn't in the business plan online or virtually. And like I said, this is all on my CB desk, the business planning portion. And we would encourage you to go on it and take a look at it, and we can always help you, guide you through this. Let's go to the next slide. So it just talks, let's get planning, you know, and like Linda's talking about regarding the goal projector, your business and personal expenses. That's where this is where this comes into play. You know, you have to know your expenses. You have to know some of these numbers in order to plan ahead. And like I said before, we are here to help you with those numbers. And you could probably talk to Al, myself, or Linda, and to help you guide you through this. Let's go to the next one. So my business planner, take a moment and envision your best year next year, which is 2021. We're already in next year. You know, what does it look like? You know, we talk about having a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, or a 5-year plan. I think that obviously you got to have a 1-year plan first. And we always have to think about the future, where we want to be. You know, like it says here, you know, you want your goals for next, you know what you want for your goals for next year to look like based on where you are now. And, you know, it's important, you know, we have always, as owners, we have always set a, you know, a 1-year plan, a 3 or 5-year plan. We've always done that in our business, and from the time we started. So it's important to know the future, where you want to be, you know. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. So these are numbers, again, these are just numbers that you'll input from the goal projector also, and we can help you complete these as we proceed on. So to achieve your plan, and this is all online, guys, so that's why I'm not gonna spend too much time on every one of these slides. But to achieve your plan, we talk about being accountable, which is huge. It really is. You know, you have to have a plan, you have to be disciplined, and you have to be accountable. And, you know, you have to stay the course. You can't, sometimes you break from you know, you may not do what you're going to do every day, or you, you know, you just have to be accountable for your actions and what you do in your plan. So, and that's where we can help you and guide you through it by coaching you and guiding you. So like Linda said, you know, it says other ideas here in this plan, but coaching, mentoring, peer group masterminds, which we are planning on having, which Linda talked about already. And this just helps you with your accountability. The next slide. So the practice the art of self-forgiveness. This is a tough one where you have a plan that you're going to do certain things every day, and sometimes you sway away from it. and you just jump back on and get these things done. You know, sometimes in this business, you know, it's unpredictable. You could be with family at a function, and all of a sudden somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I want to take a look at this house," and you know, you have to make that decision. Are you going to spend that time with your family, or are you going to go show that property? And that's a tough call to have in this business. And you kind of got to forgive yourself sometimes, where you just say, you know, I'm gonna have to go show that house, or sometimes you say, forget it, I'll show it to them another time. But this just talks about practice of self-forgiveness. Let's go to the next slide. So there's tactics and tools in your business plan. You know, there are different things that you can get good at, that you can really specialize in. You have your sphere of influence, you have your FSBOs, you have your expireds, you have farming, open houses, and circle prospecting. In my opinion, the number one item that you have to have is a sphere of influence, and you have to stay in contact with your sphere. And you know, besides that, you need to pick another one or two different you know, tools to really work. Did you want to say something, Al?
No.
Okay, I saw you just muted. So you know, sphere of influences, we talk about it all the time, keeping that up to date, keeping in contact with your sphere a couple times a year. That's the number one tool in our opinion. But you have to find out what works best for you. Is it digital ads, events, affiliate referrals, web traffic? You got to try to find where your leads come from, and really work those leads. The next slide talks about follow your path of least resistance, conversion rates on the benchmark study results here. So sphere of influence, 4.5% contacted a closed transaction. FSBO, 25.5%. Al and I were talking about these rates here, where, you know, we're trying to figure out how accurate they are. I think they're pretty close, but this is important to know which path to take. And, you know, focus on the money makers. You know, follow, you know, you want to focus on what tools bring you the most money, bring you the most closings. And that's really important that you focus on those and work them and be consistent. And then the next couple of slides are as an exercise that talks about spending your time wisely. And I think that's something that can be covered later on, I think with Linda and some of the training that she does. And it's just being efficient with your time. And the rest of these, the rest of the exercises are just basically something you can do on your own, telling the total hours and things like that. And there's a self-assessment there for My Reality, you know, where you're at. Are you ready to get down to business? Are you ready to get rolling and getting your business plan established? So obviously the business plan, like Linda has in her plan, to have it done in the fourth quarter. You know, this was an unconventional year for all of us this past year and the beginning of this year. So we do typically like to have the business plan established, you know, November, December for the following year, so that you can plan ahead and set your plan that way. All right, I'm going to move on to Mick Byer, who's going to talk about Prospect Square and Moxie Presents.
Hello, hello. Hope everybody is enjoying their day. A lot of really good information so far. And from all of us at the Toledo office, congrats on a great year this year up in Monroe, especially with you guys having a couple months off. We had a pretty decent year down here in Toledo as well. So overall,
hey, Mick,
good
what
job.
What about Ohio State though?
Well, yeah, that was a little tough. It was kind of a flashback to when we played Florida in the Fiesta Bowl and Ted Gidd Jr. broke his foot on the opening kickoff that we ran back. kind of like a flashback when Trey
I
Sermon
gotcha.
broke his collarbone. I was like, well, there goes our running game, and thus the deep pass game is gone. Let's
Okay, I
hope.
just wanted to ask that question, you know.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate you bringing it up though, Jack. Thanks. All right. So I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but we've got this really great new program called CB Desk. I'm only kidding there. Here is what the platform looks like when you log into it. The best thing about this program and what I like the most about it is that it really is your single sign-on to get your day started. You've got all the tiles here that support the Coldwell Banker tools and products that we offer. And then up here in the corner in your favorites where the little heart is, this is where you can add all the goodies that you like, Dotloop, Gmail, maybe your Google Drive, the local auditor site. So really when you come in the morning, or if you're starting your day in the afternoon because you're crying in your pillow from the Ohio State game, you can just come into one place, sign on, and know you'll be able to get to all your tools there. Just really quick before I get into Moxie and Prospect Square, on the goal projector, you see the CBU learning tile right here. If you click on that, it'll take you here, and goal projector is just right up front. So I know Jack and Linda had said it's through CB Desk, CBU. Since I was logged in, I thought I'd show you really quick. CBU Learning Center, once you go in there, goal projector is like right in front of your face right here. So that is where you're gonna get to that. I'm not here to talk on that. I really want to get into our two new tools that have came out recently that we are super excited about. They're going to be really, really helpful as you build that business plan and especially build that marketing and listing plan and listing presentation with your clients. The first one that we're going to start with is CBX and Moxie Present. This is almost feels more like a CMA type tool than a full-blown listing presentation. So if I was going to bring this to a client, I would also probably bring some other material with me as well. And you'll see as I get into it what I'm talking about. So Moxie Present is going to integrate directly with the MLS. So it's going to be able to pull data directly from the MLS. I know we're still finalizing some details with CBAR on getting all the data feeds talking to each other. But once you do, you'll be able to start a new presentation. And when you get some of the input items put in, it's going to turn out and it's going to look like this on your screen and when you're interacting with the customer. So all of your information is going to pre-populate and pull through. You'll want to add client information and a date at the top. Again, this is information that I'm going to enter in or the system's going to pull through whatever data they can. You might not get all of it. You might have to fill in, you know, basement, school district, and you could add a picture here as well. Okay. So the nice thing is once you have all of this set up, everything kind of falls into place for you. So once you get that set up, it'll give you a list of comparable sales in the area, and then you just have to pick, and you can pick solds, actives, or pending sales to include in on your report. It's got this really nice map feature. As you can see, I didn't do any of this. The program did it for me. It turned out really, really great. One thing that is really nice is I actually put this together about 2 weeks ago, and this house over here that is contingent was active at the time. So this is a rural community, not a lot of comps. This was active, but now when I pulled it up today, because we're pulling information from the MLS, it automatically changed it in my report to pending. So if you do a presentation and you know your seller pushes things back a couple days, there's a status change. The system's going to capture it and make you look like you're on top of your game. The next screen is the side-by-side comparison. Again, the system does all of this for you. I think it's a really good way to compare not just your subject property, but also the sales that you have. Okay, I'm not going to get into too much detail. You can adjust prices on your comparable sales in order to get a true market value if you wanted to be really, really exact. Okay, so again, a lot of really good information that we can just run side by side that the clients will really like. Here's just another way to look at the data. Instead of in columns, we kind of take the important information and just list it out. This will also, if you have a couple active listings, it'll put all the actives together, all the pendings and all the solds. Just some more averages that the system is going to pull as you put the report together. Any of these slides that you feel might not be relevant to your client, you can take it out. Okay. Here's one of my favorite slides. All this down here at the bottom is done for you. They will give you an approximate market value. You can change that if you want. But again, to have a market value and be able to support it on one page to your clients to say, well, I think my property is worth 195, Mick. Well, the average price is 175.7. The price per square foot tells us we're at about 181.4, you know, and now you can have a deeper conversation with the client because everything's on one page. They've just looked through it all. As we keep going, another sheet that I think is really, really nice is your net to seller or net proceeds sheet. I can't tell you how many appointments I go on where the seller says, you're the only person who's brought a net to seller worksheet. Like now we've got it baked in right to the report. And we can put in the fees and costs that we have. Obviously, we have our commissions. If your settlement and escrow fees are a little bit different, you can obviously change that to match what's happening in your particular county or market area. And then just a quick little final screen to wrap up who you are. So like I was saying, this is almost more of a CMA tool than a full-blown listing presentation. When I use this, I'm generally bringing some supporting material to show them this is what I do to market your property. So we've got the pricing and then the marketing side. So you'll want to bring some supplemental materials with you as well. But a really good way to show our clients, you know, we're pricing the property accurately. And when you show up or show them a report like this, it just reinforces the value prop that we have on we're technology focused, we're doing things the right way, okay? This report can also be emailed to your clients so they can look at it online too, which is also really nice. The next tool that we have up, let's see, is Prospect Square. So Prospect Square is going to be replacing e-marketing. In fact, it's not going to, it has. So we no longer have e-marketing. We just have Prospect Square. It's going to be where all of our email marketing is done. Okay. So let's see, I lost my slide here. Here we go. So this is what the homepage of Prospect Square looks like. There's a couple different reports that can be run out of Prospect Square. I just froze. There we go. Again, Prospect Square is going to connect with your MLS and it's going to be able to send market reports to your clients that has real-time data. And I'm going to show you one of those reports. And it also has our marketing center right here. And within the marketing center, this is where our holiday emails are going to be captured. Any buyer email campaigns, seller email campaigns, those are all going to be found in the marketing center, okay? So if you're somebody who is using the holiday emails on e-marketing and you need help getting this set up, you've gone through it and you can't quite figure it out, shoot me an email or a text message and we can get together on helping you get that up and going, okay? I'm having a hard time loading it right now because we got a lot of technology going on, but of course now it starts to pop up. Again, seasonal holiday campaign, very similar to how the other ones are ran. You upload your contacts, assign them to the email campaign, set it and forget it, and it is done. So again, really nice part of this program that reflects the e-marketing portion of automated emails.
Hey, Mick,
Yeah,
can you set that up for a whole year of like 4 different holidays, emails going out in the future?
yeah, absolutely. So it comes with 10 emails preloaded. I went through and added a few into mine, but once you open it up, you'll see it'll give you the title of what the email is going to be, the day that it's going to send. And then if you come over here to the little eyeball, it'll show you exactly what the email is going to look like. Okay. It's got all your information down here. You know, again, great lead generation off these email programs. You can send an email directly to me. You can go to my website. You can go to my YouTube or my Facebook. So you can check it out. If you feel like it doesn't work for you, you can always remove it. And then there's the share button up here. So as always, we can share this to Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter.
So this is just one simple sphere of influence, way of contacting your sphere. And you can set it at the beginning of the year and not have to touch it. I mean, it's.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could really take it a step farther, Jack. You know, I know that a lot of us sometimes struggle for what am I going to post about on Facebook today? They're always talking about posting on social media. What should I do? What should I do? Well, if you come in here and you make a list of when your emails are going out, then you can take that email. Okay, I know that this just went out to my sphere yesterday. How about I share it to Facebook? So now they're seeing the same message on Facebook that they did in their email. Maybe they're going to be more inclined to open that email or open more emails in the future. So just another way to kind of create layers of marketing is what we're trying to do here. Okay. Also, you see these little toggle switches. So if the email doesn't pertain to you, or maybe the date has already passed, you can just click it and deactivate that email so that it no longer sends to your sphere. Okay. Adding contacts to your sphere is pretty easy. You create groups. So I would create this holiday campaign, and as I sell a house, I would just add that person into my contacts, and they would automatically be added to the email campaign and automatically get the emails. So one simple step, and you've got a whole portion of your marketing campaign already done for you. Okay. So the next part of Prospect Square are the actual market reports that go out. Again, these are set it and forget it type of reports. And there's 3 different reports that you can set up: a market report, an area report, and a quarterly report. Due to time restrictions, I am going to focus on the market report. It's probably my favorite. You can set this up to send weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, annually, however you want to set it up. You can just set it up, and like Jack said, set it and forget it, and it's already done. So when your client opens the email, again, lead generation on the first page, they can change it to a PDF, show it in a browser, share it on social, reach out directly to me, or forward to a friend. So really, really good. It looks super nice and professional. I can't imagine that anybody else in the marketplace has anything as nice as this. This particular report focuses in a certain area of town. So I did it on West Toledo. You could do it on Monroe County. You could do it on a half-mile radius of the office. Whatever kind of search essentially that you could set up in your MLS, you can set up in this report. Okay. So I set it for pending and sold data. So the first page, I get this little map, all this good market information. And more market information down here. Again, another thing really, really awesome on lead generation. For an estimated value of your property, please click here. So I click it, and now it turns it into a page where a potential seller could enter their information and say, hey, I want a CMA on 123 Banana Street. Can you get that to me tomorrow, Mick? Then I would get that through email and we would be ready to go. So we're marketing and we're working to create those leads. All right. Again, I don't need to go into detail about market summaries and reports. My hope is that you guys understand the message that we're conveying to people through these reports. So that is really the basis of what I wanted to show you guys in the new tools. This wasn't meant to be like a demo by any means, but just to get you acclimated and show you the value that they bring to the clients. You know, as Jack and Al and Linda have both talked about throughout this presentation, it's all about putting a plan together, and these tools should just be, you know, 1 or 2 prongs of your overall plan, right? So your clients can now get emails on the holidays. They can get an email once a month from you with a market report. You should be sending your clients some direct mail. You should be contacting them on the telephone, seeing them at parties. So we're trying to create these layers of marketing where you are constantly staying top of mind with that client, and we're doing it through all different channels. So again, a lot of really great tools to use. If you guys got any questions, feel free to reach out. Keep your eyes peeled. There's a ton of corporate trainings on both of these tools, and they're going to have a lot of really great information. So keep your eyes peeled, sign up for those corporate trainings that are available.
I just actually listed a whole bunch of them on our Facebook page just a few days ago. So check the Facebook page because I'm regularly posting the trainings that are coming up on these new tools and also on other virtual platforms.
Yep, and they'll also post them in CB Desk.
Right.
Last shameless plug of the day for CB Desk from me. So I think from now, I will turn it over to Paula. Is that correct?
Yeah, Paula is going to talk about our new website, and so go ahead, Paula.
Great, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, so we've been building a new website. This will be we will still have the existing Haynes Homes. This is just a more in-depth, personalized to separating our Toledo and Monroe office. Most offices that have a corporate website have an additional website. So we are going to, I have a lot more features that we can really, like the open houses, how we struggle for them to show up and stuff like these, we have total control over. This is the website, the main page when you go visit it. Here your client can find an agent. It's similar features to Haynes Homes, but the open house nodule, I really like this one. Why it's not opening. There we go. So this is an example. This isn't really an open house for whoever's listing this is. It's just an example. Our open houses would all be lined up here. The client can scroll through the photos, see when it is. They can actually click on it and go to the full profile page of the home. They can do a private request tour, see all of the market stats in our area. Estimated payment, our market trends. This would be a comparable, our MLS feed is still feeding in all of the homes. So these will change and be different. They will actually be the comparables. Our area demographics. And this would be that bottom footer, but it's not loaded. So here's a moving guide. This will have our preferred people that we use eventually. Like I think we have 2 men in a truck. Do we still use those all the time?
Mostly Main Street movers.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be these. These will all be customized to your office. Toledo office will be able to put theirs in, Monroe's will put theirs in. How you go about hiring a moving company, it's just basically all about your move. Here they can see the careers available. It's all about working at our office. You click here to find a career at Coldwell Banker. It's our information. They can choose a specific office here. So we will know exactly where they are aiming to work. I'm going to go back to our home page. And down here, this will be our agents. And when we have the agent of the week and agent of the month, that is what will appear here. The MLS did not send over all of our agent photos in the proper format. So I had to last night sit and load everybody manually. And as soon as the Delta uploads them, it will appear here. Here they can do their own market analysis. Our featured listings, this will also be I'm not sure exactly how Al and Jack are going to choose those, but this is a static. It's going to have our 8 properties showing all the time. Well, I mean, like I can change them daily if I wanted to, but these will be hand chosen featured listings. I don't know if it'll be new listings or how they're going to do that. So that's about it. Oh, here's where they do the home search. This is the MLS link, just like when you go to Zillow or Haynes Homes or coldwellbanker.com. This is an MLS feed. They can search any home that's in our MLS or Michigan Real Source. So do you have any questions or?
No, we're still completing all this. We've been working on it for probably since the middle of December. And it was a big decision because, there's a lot of expense involved in this. It was something that we thought was needed. And to, have our company continue to, be a top company, you have to keep making changes. And this is one of the changes that were taking place right now. I think it's going to be a great website. The company that we're working with out of Ohio,
It's family owned.
It's family owned, and they work with some of the top real estate companies across the United States. And that's why we went out and checked the top websites for companies out in Oregon, Colorado, different states. And we found out that they were using this company in Ohio. So that's why we contacted them and had them do our site for us. So
Yeah, we can, I like the customability. Like if we have an event coming up or something that we really want to market, I can change that homepage where when a client logs in, if we have something big going on. And then we're also going to work on that vendors page, which is like our preferred title companies. And again, I don't know what criteria and how those are all going to be chosen, but it's very similar to our old concierge program. The people that we recommend, keep it local. Our focus is really small business local, even though we have the corporate reach. That's going to be the whole theme.
once we get this website totally together, we'll probably have some type of a Zoom meeting on it again.
Yeah, we're gonna, Delta has offered to put a training, just a real quick overview where they can show you the features, because our agents will eventually be able to actually log in and update their own listings if they so choose to. They can put their own open houses in, but I mean, that's in the future. We'll eventually get to that, but yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated and show you the features as we add them.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Paula.
Thanks.
Okay. so,
Okay, go
Al,
ahead, Jack.
what's that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Al's gonna close up the meeting, but I just want to mention one thing also. We didn't usually Tom Fritz at our annual business plan meetings, he gets up and talks about commercial. So I just want to remind everybody that, Tom Fritz is in the office, and client who's a commercial client and you don't really have the expertise or don't want to you could have him work with you on that. So just don't forget about that. So, okay, so
Okay.
Al, go ahead and
Thanks, Jack.
Okay, we're going to, finish up the meeting. I'm just going to, it's not going to take long here, but I want to go over a few bullet points kind of. One of them was about our commercial department. It's a separate franchise. I'm not sure people are aware of this, but since 2016, Coldwell Banker Commercial and Tom have closed on 75% of all commercial closings in Monroe County. That is a huge, huge number. So his closest competitor probably does about 6 or 7% of what he does. So the whole MLS, 600 and some agents do about 25% of the business in Monroe County. Tom does 75%. So, Tom's very educated. He spent several years getting a CCIM, and that's why customers like working with him, because he knows what he's talking about. So what Jack and I do, in all cases, we refer all of our commercial business to Tom, and we receive a referral fee, and we feel comfortable with that because we feel as if it's going to be done correctly. All right. Couple more bullet points. This is our 48th year we're completing in a business, starting with Haynes Real Estate and now called Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate, founded by my father in 1972, Lloyd Haynes. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because we're getting close to being in business for 50 years, which I think is a great accomplishment. I tried to look back and see how many closings size we've had since we've been in business. I can just tell you this much. I know that it's over 15,000 closings size that we've had in Monroe County since we've been and started business. It's verified that we're getting close to 12,000 since 1999. So I think the 15,000 number is something that's not overestimated. So, we feel great about that because we think that makes our company very strong as far as future business goes. Think about it, 15,000 sides closed on by Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate or Haynes Real Estate. So a lot of people know who we are, and we get a lot of referral business because of that. Another unbelievable stat is I wasn't sure what the number was, so I got up this morning and I started counting agents' experience, and it's an approximate number, but it was over 900 years of experience in our office. Can you believe that? So for example, this is my 47th year in business, and I think Jack's been licensed since about 1983. So, just between us two, it's a lot of years of experience. There's very little that we haven't seen, but we're not naive enough to think that we know everything. So we always check, double check things with our attorney, John Fleming, who is our real estate attorney. We probably talk to him once a month at least. We probably talk to the state probably at least twice a month, and sometimes twice a day. So, we with all the 900 years of experience, we want to make sure that we're doing things the right way. So another interesting stat is, we talk about the community and how we started trying to stay involved in the community. Jack and I have been coaching either coaching basketball or Jack football. I came up with a number of 63 years. I based that on 43 years I've coached and the 20 years that Jack coached since around 1999. He did coach some other, helped out some other places before that. But, I think that helps our name and our community. There's no doubt about it that through the different school systems here in Monroe County, who we have donated money to, almost every one of them. Maybe not Whiteford. I'm not sure about Whiteford, but I think we've donated to every school district in Monroe County over the years. We've been very involved in our community. I think that makes us a stronger real estate company. And I think it makes our agents stronger also, because it gives you instant credibility. Okay.
I forgot to add, Al, we are having a community page as well. So
Okay.
like things that I know, like if Tom Fritz he does the coats for kids a lot, that's something that we can have right on a page for him, all the information, where to bring the coats, we can do you know, our involvement with Habitat for Humanity, the upcoming events of theirs. We'll have a calendar. It's going to be dedicated to community, and they will see what we do.
Okay, good. That's great.
Yeah.
While you're on there, would
Uh-huh.
you share the website with everyone in the chat box and then maybe post it on the Facebook page? The link?
I don't have a link yet. I can send a generic link where they can see this, but it's not live yet. We're still connected to the Haynes Homes.
Okay, that's an answer to the question. I'll carry on, and then I want to say one more thing too before we wrap up.
Okay. So another thing, you know, since the Best of the Best was started by the Monroe Review News, again, last year in 2020, Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate was voted Best of the Best. And I believe that's for 5 consecutive years. So, you know, these are things that should be in your listing presentation. You know, you want to brag about yourself, but there's nothing wrong with having a bullet point about that. Also, since 1994, we've been the #1 real estate office in Monroe County as far as production. No longer the #1 firm because, but close. But as far as the #1 office, we were the only office in Monroe County last year to close over 100 million in sales. So, you know, the company did 134 million, counting our Carlton office, and over 120 million in sales. The closest competitor we had was 97 million. So that was a great accomplishment for us last year. Habitat for Humanity. The last, I believe, I was trying to think about this last night. Approximately the last 70 Habitat for Humanity homes that were built in Monroe County, Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate has paid for the front door. Oh, big deal. What's that equal? About $25,000 we've given them over the years just for front doors. So again, any homeowner who's moved into a Habitat house in the last 70 approximate properties, you know, it has if you ever went to an opening, a grand opening, it says donated by Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate as they walk in the front door. Okay. As far as the community goes, we've always tried to do the best we can as far as donations go. And I can just tell you this much, between the year 2000 and the 2020, that Coldwell Banker Haynes Real Estate has donated approximately $200,000 to our community. A lot of money. Okay. I'm for sure it's over 150,000, but I'm pretty sure it's also over 200,000. There's been many years that we were over 25,000 that we've donated alone to different charities and organizations in Monroe County. So again, I'm not bragging about that. I'm saying that this makes us a stronger company. It's one of the reasons why who we are. Okay. I guess that's about it. You know, as far as the vision goes, you know, it's pretty difficult to make a lot of predictions about the next 12 months. Just like looking back at the last 12 months, we could just try to keep a positive attitude and make adjustments as it goes by. I think that, you know, we want to always try to improve our company, and, you know, adding the website this year was something we've been talking about for 2 or 3 years. We decided to go ahead with it, and because we thought it was needed. And you know, we opened an office in Dundee this year, a small office. We're looking at opening a second office in Ohio in the next 12 months, probably in the Perrysburg area. We've already looked at space down there. We've been looking at space in the Downriver area, in the Allen Road and West Road area. We might even move the Carlton office to that area. So we're always looking, but again, we've learned our lesson in the past. In 2008 through 2012, we really got hit bad. We got hit hard. And we want to make sure that we're not making financial decisions that are really going to hurt us. So trying to be smart, and we're trying to be making sure that we always have enough liquid. What I mean by that is, so when last March 1st hits, you guys all received an email that said we were pretty strong financially. We thought we were going to get through this. So we always try to keep a large amount of money in our accounts just to make sure that we are strong. Okay. So that's about all I have. I really appreciate you guys being on, coming in this morning. We you know, these Zoom meetings, they're good in a sense, but I still prefer a meeting like this face to face. It was supposed to take place December 15th at Monroe Country Club. And of course, we got canceled there. But hopefully some of our future meetings will be take place face to face. I got my, Bonnie and I both got our vaccine shots yesterday, so we're happy about that. And I can tell you that I had no symptoms from it, 0. So that's a good thing. Linda, you want to finish up?
Yeah, well, Katie reminded me in the chat about a new tool that we have available to us at no charge to us as individuals through CBAR called Forewarn. I don't know if you guys have downloaded this or not. It is an app that you can download onto your phone. And basically what it is a tool to screen prospective clients using a phone number, either a phone number that they have provided to you, an incoming phone number. And if you don't have a phone number, they have a variety of different identifiers that you can actually
Right.
enter and search information about the prospective client. And so what it's going to do is help to identify if your prospective client has a criminal history. You can verify their current property, vehicle ownership. You can actually verify financial risks, whether they have any bankruptcies or liens, stuff like that. You can verify if they have additional phone numbers. And it obviously is just going to help you properly and safely plan for showings with a higher level of confidence than you might have previously. I'm sure all of us have met with a client while doing a showing or getting ready to do a showing that you've never met before. And I mean, without stereotyping, I know for a lot of women, it can be a little disconcerting. I know that I will let someone know where I'm going, you know, if I'm meeting with someone I've never met before. So this gives us all an opportunity to just do an extra layer of background checking. And normally this is actually quite expensive. It's available to people who want to purchase it for a monthly fee. I think it's $50 a month. But it's part of our membership as CBAR members now offered to us at no charge. So I have downloaded it and I haven't had an opportunity yet to use it because I've been working with people that I know. But I think it's a great tool and I'm glad that Katie reminded me to speak about it because I think it will be advantageous to everybody. And I know, Al, you said you were pretty excited about it as well, yes?
Yeah, it's something that was brought up at our financial meeting here in the last couple of financial meetings with the Monroe County Association and it bounced back and forth because the cost is about $1,500 a month, where the last one about $18,000 a year. That's why we have some sponsors helping to pay for it, and I think it's $18,000 a year, and our sponsors paid about half. So, you know, you are paying for it. You're going to see an increase in your MLS fees, not much, but you know they're going to go up from I think it's 116 to about 125 a quarter next after July. So, but you know, take advantage of it. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, everybody write this down. mycbdesk.com 1-877-426-5393 to get your login.
And Jack, remind them that you emailed everybody a PDF because I've had a couple texts asking for certain slides.
Yeah, it's all in the PDF. So I'll resend them out again just so everybody's has it. But yeah, Paul has sent it to me and I forwarded it to everybody in that email. But I'll
Jack,
send it.
maybe we can include the actual slides. I know the one you're sending out is the unshortened version.
Thanks, Mick. Yeah.
Maybe they want the actual slides too. So I'll send you that PDF.
Okay, and then I'll send it off to everybody.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything, guys. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye now.
Great year, everybody.
Yep.